Hi, I'm Kylie Freeman, and I've been taking Bible literature this last semester, and this is my presentation over the Drama of Scripture, the book that we read throughout the semester to help us understand the Bible. And one of the main things about the Drama of Scripture is it looks at the Bible in a coherent piece of work or literature. That when we read it coherently, we are able to understand it better because it's not taken out of context, and we are able to understand it and why it all works together. Then the Drama of Scripture breaks it up, however, into 6 different acts. These different acts are the creation, and when we are created, and the purpose for our creation. So it establishes his kingdom and the reason he has come and what we do. So he brought Adam and Eve to this world. First it was Adam, and then he didn't want Adam to be alone, so he took one rib and created Eve. And he said, y'all are welcome to roam in this garden, just don't eat from this one tree. And then that goes into our second act. Well, as humans, we are sinful. So they sinned and they ate from the tree, and that is the fall. So we rebel against God. And so we have fallen away from the Lord because he established in his kingdom that we are built for a relationship for him. But because from eating from the tree, we are now distanced from him. So he then prophesies and announces his plan to redeem us. So because of this, he sends his son Jesus, and he announces this in Act 3 throughout the Bible and different things. He brings to us the narrative of Israel and what happens in the Act 3. He talks about the exile of the Israelites in Babylon. And another thing we talked about big was exile and how we are exiled, different things like exile now. We watch devotions about it all the time. And exile means driven out of your homeland. So they were driven out of their homeland due to idolatry and disobedience to the Lord. But then Joshua is brought to them to deliver them out to the promised land like God had promised. And after that, we have the instrumental period. I think I said that right. Probably not. Anyway, where God is silenced for 400 years. We've learned the purpose of his silence in that time. He still wanted to see their obedience to him, but in that time he was proving the prophecy to be true for the coming of the Lord. And then that leads us into Act 4, which is redemption accomplished when the Messiah comes. This is more where he announces that it's Jesus, the Son of God, brought to by man, and he announces this, and it's just a whole ending of from when he was born to the purpose of when he was brought back to Mary Magdalene, and Mary Magdalene told all of them that he has been risen, and he meets the disciples. And through that time, he just does miracles and is here to serve us. Even though he should be almighty and shouldn't be serving us, he is. And then throughout this time, he shows us what we are to do as the mission of the church and for ourselves. And that's in Act 5. Well, if we have to go back into Act 4 where they talk about different things that has happened, but they talk about one of the biggest mission of the church is to spread the word and be a light into the world for everyone. And a good example of this is Paul. When after Jesus had risen and Paul was on his own, he was in jail writing letters to the people to express what God has done for him, but also to spread the word that God has spoken to him and from the Bible that he can give to people, to spread his knowledge and just his experiences that the Lord has done for him, just to help bring people into the kingdom. And that's our biggest thing, is the kingdom mindset. And that was one of the big themes, I think, throughout is kingdom mindset. We need to be in that kingdom mindset of redemption is coming and he's going to come back. But before then, we have to help others see his light, and we can't get them there, but we can help in that. And so that brings us back to Act 6 where and this is a big part of Revelation, like Jesus is going to come back and he's going to save his sons and daughters that choose to have that relationship to him, because we are made for that. So if we choose to have that relationship with them, we can have it. And so a big connection I had was through this whole thing is when in our essay we had to talk about how do you think the time the Old Testament and the New Testament go together. And I think it was the exile in Babylon and Joshua providing them, bringing them out. We are technically exiled from heaven because we're not there yet until Jesus comes back. But when Jesus comes back, he'll save us and bring us into the promised land, which is heaven. And that was just a big connection, like, because I've always been like, New Testament is a lot of what most people read nowadays, but Old Testament is so beneficial of how it connects to how they just go coherently together and hand in hand with each other. But yeah, that was the drama of Scripture and the things that the Acts broken down and what I got from it. So thank you.